going on, guys? It is Hayden Hutchinson.
What's up, man? It's your boy Amon-Ra St. Brown.
What's going on, Coach Dan at Lions Talk Live and the Blue Crew? This is Ball Hawk, fought to another founder of the Detroit Lions. Everybody make sure you help support the YouTube channel Lions Talk Live by clicking that like and subscribe button. Let's get it and go Detroit.
Greetings and salutations to everyone out there in YouTube land. This is Dan Skipper, offensive weapon for the Detroit Lions. Make sure you all help support Lions Talk Live, Coach Dan, by clicking on that like and subscribe button. Everybody, woo!
Well, greetings and salutations to everybody out there in YouTube land. I am your host once again, Dan Thornton, and I want to thank you all for joining us here today. Lions Talk Live, you know what, morning show edition, and it is a Saturday morning edition. So we're going to come at you with, as you can probably tell from the thumbnail for today's video, we've got some good news and a little bit of update on a couple of different guys that have been out for Lions, might be coming back sooner versus later. Also, I put out a video yesterday. Most of you guys probably have seen it based on the view count. That, hey, we talked about the Tyreek Stevenson, Jameson Williams thing on the sideline. You know what? A lot of you guys asked me to either send you the video or do another video with a video. So what I'm going to do is after today's morning show, I'm going to work on putting out just like a 5-minute video or something short like that. Because if YouTube docks it, I'm just going to demonetize it and be done with it. I hate the editing stuff. That's why I don't really want to put the video out there. But since a lot of people are struggling to find it or whatever, I will do it. All I'm going to say is when you watch it, you can clear as day see the trip. Then you see Tyreek Stevenson kind of do one of these numbers, turn and, do like the snot rocket at him. And, to me, that's where, man, you're a better man than me for not throwing blows right there. You do that to me, man, I'm probably coming after you. And I think most people would probably have that. All right, moving on to that, because like I said, we'll handle that in the after this morning show. So if you guys want to turn your notifications on, I'll get that over to you guys. Give me about an hour to just feed the dogs, let them out after the morning show, and then we'll get that to you. All right, enough of the jibber jabber, though. If you haven't yet subscribed to Lions Talk Live, please consider doing so. We are, 62 subs away from 11,300. So if you can help out with that, that would be great. Also, if you have a free second of time, reach on down, hit that thumbs up button, that like button, that subscribe button. That all helps out a lot. Hit all the buttons while you're at it. Last but not least, if you are considering buying or selling property anywhere in the United States of America, let alone Michigan, where I reside, give me a call or shoot me a text. You now see the number on your screen, 269-998-2384. Give me a call. We'll have a quick conversation, see what I can do to save you some money. Make sure you don't step on any landmines. Make sure you don't get worked over by lenders. Like there's no joke here. There was a lender last week, and I'm not going to give out the name. I don't want to get lawsuits against me, but they were trying to charge this person $5,000 just for using him. And I had to tell that person, man, when we were writing an offer for a property, I was like, yeah, this charge they're giving you here, that's BS, man. That doesn't exist. That's just somebody trying to pad their pocket and assume you don't know any better. So we caught that and saved them a little bit of cheddar. All right, with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and get this show rolling and going. Let's go ahead and get over to 5 headlines now. And if I can find the button, where's the button? The button is missing. There's Sometimes there are button issues. All right, 5 headlines now. Lions add Super Bowl champion to bolster defense. Story by the Cold Wire. Never heard of the Cold Wire before, but in case you guys didn't know, the Lions did add a defensive end from the practice squad, Jonah Williams from the LA Rams. He's now going to be a Detroit Lion, brought on over. He does have some experience and some abilities. It's not like he's null and void of everything. His best season was last season, where he had 2 sacks and some other pressures, couple hits on the quarterback as well. I think what the Lions are mostly looking for out of anybody they bring at this point is just hold the line on the run game and then allow Aaron Glenn a little bit more freedom to use some blitzing packages or Zadarius Smith, amongst others, in stand-up wide 9 techniques or even over the center. But either way, we all get it, Lions, and we'll be handling this in the main topic today. Lions are real thin at linebacker and defensive end, so you know what? They're going to have to make do with what you got right now, because the rest of the league doesn't care if you're injured or not. All right, it took 10 wins, but I finally realized the Detroit Lions superpower by Jeff Seidel, the Detroit Free Press. If you want to go over and check out Def Jeff's story on this, hey, he's been a reporter covering Detroit and Metro Detroit / the Lions. as long as I can remember, he's been around for a minute. So it's a pretty good piece. Talks about where the Lions started, where they've gotten to, and also the fact that, in his opinion, Lions' superpower is the fact that, you know what, they all believe in each other. They all will run through a wall for each other, let alone the coaching staff. And he does dive into the scouting department, the front office, all the different matrix for what has happened in Detroit and what we now see with the Detroit Lions. Perhaps, arguably, the best franchise in the NFL, top to bottom. Also, people complaining about the Lions not blowing out the Bears and everything. Hey, just look at it this way. You saw the Kansas City Chiefs last night. This is a headline, just my personal opinion, facing a 2-win team. You know what? That 2-win team, if it wasn't the most boneheaded ending to a game ever, Chiefs probably lose that game, or at least have the potential. So be thankful. It's never easy to win, period, at any level, let alone in the NFL. All right, moving back to the 5 headlines now. Lions, and I know I did a video on this yesterday. Kewan Alexander to help after the injuries hit Detroit's defense. Denver Post story by Russell Brown with this one. This guy's played in a couple different spots, Alexander, that is, and he's been successful at a couple different spots. Whatever you can say is getting someone like this, who's maybe not what they once were, but still pretty dang good, and getting them in a position of need for the Detroit Lions. That's a big win for the Detroit Lions, because the linebackers, you will go through it when you go through the injury report, but they're razor thin there. Rodrigo gone for the season. There will be no, unless aliens come in to fix that knee somehow. He's not playing again this year, but he'll be back for next year. Derek Barnes, we all get it. He's down. Anzalone's down. Rodrigo's down. There's probably other people down that we don't even know about. But getting someone like Alexander, that's a big win. I think him, Long Jr., and Captain Jack will probably be able to hold the line for the most part at that linebacker spot for the Lions. All right, veteran new additions paying huge dividends for the Detroit Lions by Ben Raven of MLive.com. Mr. Raven Nevermore. I think he's spot on with this and pretty right. You look at this offseason, you look at what we brought in with DJ Reader, amongst other players, Carlton Davis, etc., and now look at Zadarius Smith. Hey, these guys have been playing pretty dang well. They've been doing a lot of good stuff for us, and I think the Lions have hit home runs with basically, you could say, all their free agent acquisitions or trades or whatever, all the veteran guys that they didn't draft, they brought on in. You know what? They're all stepping up a big way, and you see it on a week-to-week basis. Make no mistake, if DJ Reader isn't out there and Zadarius Smith probably on Thanksgiving, we don't win. At least that's my opinion. They both have played massive roles there. All right, last the 5 headlines now. Detroit Lions fans celebrate record season after the Thanksgiving win. Quote, we're on a roll. CBS Sports had people there. Obviously, they were covering the game, but they also went around and talked to people before the game and after the game, did a piece on this. And yes, I think they're spot on. Lions fans everywhere were rejoicing. It might not have been the blowout you wanted, but you know what? It's the win you needed. And they got it. They needed it. And they keep on trucking. Lions are 11-1, and nobody alive, at least very few people alive. Let me correct that. Very few people alive can remember the last time the Lions had any kind of season like this. My dad and mom were, my dad was born in the 1920s. I doubt if he could have remembered if he was still with us, but you get it. It's been a New York minute since you've had anything like this. Good for them. All right, with all that out of the way, we're going to go to one quick piece before we go to the main topic of the day. We're going to go to the Pro Football Focus grades for the day or the week, whatever you want to say. All right, PFF grades. Let's get into it. We won't spend a lot of time on it. Hey, we've been talking about in recent weeks, in my opinion, you guys can have your own opinion, Kevin Zettler may be one of the best free agent signings this Detroit Lions team had in the offseason. He had a 91 grade. Anything 90 or above is elite, at least in my opinion. And you know what? This is about 6 straight weeks where he's been elite. I'm now going to say, if you guys watch this show for a minute, I've been saying he's top 5 in the league, regardless, left, right, whatever, just top 5 guard. I'm going to say he's arguably top 2 right now. And I would have to really look at all the guys, but I just really struggling to think of anybody playing as well as him right now across the NFL. So I don't want to say he's the best, but I'm going to say he's number 2 right now. Maybe you could say number 3, but either way, Lions hit a massive home run with this dude. I hope they re-sign him. And I'm guessing because of his age, he won't get a long contract, but maybe a year or 2. He's been playing really well. Right tackle Penei Sewell had basically an 89 overall, so not elite, but pretty as close to elite as you can be without being elite. Frank Ragnow, 84. Jared Goff, 75. David Montgomery, 72. Lowest grades, Sam Laporta. I think he did play pretty well, so I was a little surprised with this grade. A 66, which is not terrible, by the way. Just one of the lowest grades for the Lions offense. Brock Wright, 63. Jameson Williams, 56. Dan Skipper, 53. Graham Glasgow, 50. Highest grades on defense, Zadarius Smith, 77.5. Alaquin Muhammad, he did play real well. And I get limited snaps, but again, you put him in a position or an opportunity to succeed, and he did just that. 73.2. Jack Campbell, 68.5. Kalia Dorsey, 65.4. Ezekiel Turner, again, somebody on a limited snap count, but you know what? You found a way to play him to his strengths. 63. Lowest grades, Trevor Nowaski, 52.5. Levi Onwuzurike, 51.1. And I get he was on incredibly low snap count. Terrion Arnold, 46.1. I was surprised by that one. I thought he played pretty well. Amik Robinson, 44.2. And Mekhi Wingo, 29.9. You know who's not on there? Kendall Vildor, neither high nor low. So that needs to probably jump out at us. While he might have had a few plays, probably not as bad as the week before. I think we can all say that. All right, moving on from the Pro Football Focus, let's go ahead and get over to the main topic of the day. All right, hope springs eternal for the Detroit Lions, especially when you're winning a ton. But you know what would also help with that hope? Players coming back and returning. Lions are going to have a whole lot of guys coming back potentially in the next few weeks. And we could say weeks being, 3 to 4 weeks before the end of the regular season. So let's go into this. I've created a little bit of an index for us to review each player on an individual basis. Come up with your own conclusions. These are my thoughts. They do not need to be your thoughts. We'll start off with the big name right off the bat. Aiden Hutchinson, left tibia fibula fracture, and that was October 13th. So you're getting through the snap count here a little bit. We've got good news with him in that I think it's more and more looking likely that he will return in the playoffs. Now, will it be the Super Bowl? Could it be the NFC title game? I'm not here to debate that part right now. I'm just going to say I've got a story coming out for you guys later today if you want to have your notifications on where I dive into his situation a whole lot more in depthly because there is some new information on it, but I'm going to save all that. Sorry, guys, for that video. All right, moving on to the next one. Alex Anzalone, probably not a big surprise here. He had a forearm fracture, left forearm fracture, I'd say. The speedy linebacker is estimated to will be out 6 to 8 weeks. So that should have him back around December 30th, week 17, or January 5th, week 18 are the likely dates. I'm going to say this. I think he's back week 17, December 30th. That's my belief. That way you can kind of ease him in. Probably don't start him that game, but ease him into some stuff that game, and then maybe get him full go if you want the final game of the regular season. That's my anticipation. Khalif Raymond with a left foot injury, November 24th. My guess is he's also going to be back December 30th. Again, I think you're going to want to get him out there for a little bit before the playoffs, not just throw him out there cold turkey for the playoffs. Let's see, Jalen Reeves-Maybin. This will be another good news for the Detroit Lions. He got injured with the neck stinger, whatever you want to call it, November 3rd. My guess is he'll be back. He's eligible to return December 5th. My guess is he's back right around that date too. So unless there's something that pops up unforeseen that sets him back, and that'll be good because we all get it. He's a special teams ace. He's a captain. And you know what? He'd give some much needed flexibility to that defense. Enos Rakestraw coming back from a hamstring. That happened just a week ago on November 22nd. My guess is his first date to return is going to be right around December 22nd. So my thought is he'll return the week after that, maybe on December 22nd, week 16. But it's his first year in the league. I get they're developing him, but I think all Lions fans get he's probably a little bit better option at corner than maybe a couple of the guys we've seen out there. So mark it on your calendar, week 16. Ife Melifonwu, man, this guy just can't stay healthy, and I feel bad for the kid. August 17th was his Achilles injury. November 14th was his finger injury. When he'll be back, who the heck knows? This guy is injured early and often. Hope is fading that he can help the team this year, but I will say maybe he just comes running down the tunnel, and this is it. He finishes out the regular season, helps us in the playoffs. Earliest he can return is December 22nd, so again, week 16. You're seeing a lot of commonality with a lot of these guys. You're talking week 16, 17, 18. The vast majority of these guys are going to be returning to the Lions, and it's right before the playoffs. I'm going to say this. I'm hoping and pulling for Iffy to make a return. John Kaminsky, I put him in the thumbnail, whatever you call it, the lead for this video. I think he's been out since July 30th. That's what I have on my calendar. It's my personal opinion, and there's nothing to corroborate it. There's nothing to suggest otherwise. I think he's going to return the final game of the regular season. That's my opinion. I think you get him out there on a snap count, see what he's got, and if he does okay, then you know what? You got him for the playoffs. If not, I'm not sure if he'll make it. But in my opinion, he'll be out there for the final game of the regular season. The commish had MCL surgery with an estimated 5 to 6 month recovery. If the estimate is accurate, he could be back in January. So the last game of the regular season is January 5th. I'm pushing for that one for him to return. Malcolm Rodriguez, hey, I'll just make this a quick one. He's not coming back this year. He got an ACL tear on Thanksgiving. He's not recovering. There's no rocket science that's going to help him through that one. In all the years I've coached, 35 now, hard to believe that, but 35 years, I've seen one person come back in an expedited fashion, and that was 4 months. Obviously, that doesn't help Rodrigo, even if he is going to hit that kind of time frame. So we'll see him next year. Marcus Davenport, he left elbow September 22nd. You know, he's the one I'm kind of up and down on. Scatter reports suggest it was a triceps rupture. If that is correct, then there's no possibility he'll be back this year. But you also have the report saying it was a dislocated elbow. If it was a dislocated elbow, and maybe a very severe one at that, there is some potential, limited as it may be, that right around the final game of the regular season, he could return. I don't know one way or the other. I tried to reach out to different people in Detroit media, and none of them said they knew for sure what the injury was. So without that kind of knowledge, it's hard for me to really say one way or the other. Kyle Pico, left pec rupture. If he would have been a secondary player or something like that, I think it's possible. Not for sure, but October 13th, it's possible he could have came back maybe like the second round of the playoffs. Either way, though, with him being a down lineman, especially an interior DTI, he's not coming back this year, unfortunately. Broderick Martin, I think you'll start seeing him next week. I get they've eased him back into stuff, but my guess is he's back next week, and that's going to be also the same for Emmanuel Mosley. I don't know what the situation was pre-game, just that something popped up in very last minute for them to pull him, but he's out. Hey, is he going to be able to play? I don't know, man. His time in Detroit has been pretty bad for him, just from a personal standpoint. We all know he blew out his other ACL after 2 snaps. He comes back, gets through training camp, and then blows up a pec muscle. So obviously, none of us are going to have the best confidence level in him, but if he can get healthy, if he is right, then the 28-year-old, he could add a whole lot to that secondary. So wait and see. Right now, I guess it doesn't cost us anything to see if he can return or not. All right, that's going to do it for the main topic of the day. And on a side note to everybody watching, not that this has anything to do with the Lions, but hey, a little bit of news just because I love, like Indiana Jones type stuff. Noah's Ark has been unearthed by archaeologists. And hey, that was a headline that hit last night. I actually checked it out. So if you're into that kind of stuff, you may want to go check it out. Apparently, maybe there's some truth to that stuff in the Bible. All right, let's go ahead and get over to the Duke Crew, see what you guys got to say about all this. Also, don't forget, if you want to see the video, turn your notifications on, the one for Jameson Williams and Tyreek Stevenson from Thanksgiving. I don't want to put it in this video because this video is an hour long, and it's just, if I've got to edit it, it's just a pain in the butt. Or if I do another video like an hour after this one, or 2 hours, whatever, within short order after the completion of the morning show, if I've got to take that one down, if I got to edit it, hell, man, if I got to delete it, it's not as big a pain. All right, Duke Crew, what say you on all these topics and maybe a little bit more? Let's head on over and see what you're all saying as I am scrolling to the top of the screen. So give me a second to get here. JDC, morning all. Morning, dude, JDC. Hopefully it's a phenomenal one. Robert, greetings and salutations. Same to you. Robert, I felt somewhat better after watching all 22's breakdown of our defense and the game. They played some amazing schemes. They did. Aaron Glenn has really matured as a defensive coordinator. I was kind of on him a little bit during his first or second year here. You could just tell he didn't know what he didn't know, and it was hurting his team. But you know what he has now? He's got experience. He's learned some things, and we all probably need to give him some props and praise. Burger time. Good morning, Dan. One Pride. Go Lions. Back at you, Berg. Thanks for all you do. Good morning, JDC. Lions Talk Live fan. We need some good news. Well, we got some good news. I really think the vast majority of players, Rodrigo's not coming back in any manner, shape, or form other than cheerleader on the sideline. I'm sorry for him, man, because I think he was doing pretty well. But the vast majority of our wounded should be back right before the playoffs. We'll just say, somewhere in the next 4 weeks, you're going to have the vast majority of the players back. Robert, make sure you all watch Tom Grossi of the Bears and the Lions fan reaction. It's spot on. I will check that out, man. I now know who he is. I will check that out. Thanks, Robert. JDC, Lions fanatic, Berg time. Good morning to you also. Same to you. Hookadoo. Good morning, Dan and the Do Crew. Grit. Okay, Dan, hit us with some good news. Oh, yeah. Well, hopefully you guys like the news. Detroit D, greetings, salutations to everyone. Same to you. Hookadoo. Berg time. What's up, my brother from another mother? Grit wins. Grit does win, and it travels. Detroit D, exclamation points. We took our foot off the gas on offense. You might be right about that. Thank God for the incompetent coach. Yeah, man. I mean, the Bears, can you imagine? Think about this, man. When all this rash of whatever has happened during their 6-game winning streak, the vast majority of those games were winnable. Like, I'd say 4 of them. They win in those 4 games, man, they're 8-win team. They're on the cusp of challenging for the NFC North, but that also needs to go and show life in the NFL, man. It is so the margin between a 10-win team and a 4-win team is literally not that much. Or if you want to use yesterday's game as a reference, the Chiefs, who are already secured a playoff spot, and the Raiders 2-win team, and they nearly won. They should have won. I can't believe. Somebody's got to tell me what that center was thinking, but whatever it was, miscommunication. Really, that's all you need. Burger time. Good morning, brother Hookadoo. There you go. Burger time. We are in uncharted waters with this team. I love it. Super Bowl or bust. Woo! I'll go with all the above. Rich, I think if we control time of possession against the Packers and keep our defense on the sidelines, we can beat the Packers. Run the ball. We might have to do that to help them out a little bit. Every time I agree, Detroit. Today we seem to do that a lot. We do indeed. Trey, what's good, everyone? Question mark. We need some good news around now, and hopefully you got the good news you wanted. Robert, Hetman drinks coffee! Exclamation point. Yes, he does. Gunny, what do you got? Howdy, Dan and Duke Crew. Welcome to the Wooville, and good to see you, Mike the Marine. As always, JDC, get real in the D. Go Lions. Back at you. Frank the Tank. Good morning, Duke Crew. East Side. Go Lions. All the above, man. Detroit D. Thought we would never see number 4 yesterday. Not one defense rep yesterday. 100%. Yeah, thought we would see number 4 yesterday. Yeah, not one rep at all. Big Eddie, greetings, sanitation. Anyone see the NFL edit the game footage so the PI on 4th down against us isn't shown anymore? Question mark. Man, they know they messed up. A couple of you guys reached out to me yesterday about that. I didn't have time, which is with coaching responsibilities. Go back and check it out. I'll check it out today. But the fact that, I want to say 10 or 20 of you guys messaged me regarding that, I was like, man, did they really take that out of the film? I can't speak to it. I haven't seen it, but a lot of you guys apparently did. And man, you want to know that what the NFL thinks about that call? They don't want anybody watching anymore and saying, yeah, look at this stuff. I talked about it yesterday. I talked about it in the post-game show. Man, I was like, what are you looking at there to throw that? To me, that almost looks like you're trying to bail the Bears out there, and I'll leave that one alone. Frank the Tank, it's going to be tough for the Detroit Lions to overcome all these injuries, but I believe go Lions. You got to believe, man. And you know what? The good part for the Lions is your DTIs, your interior defensive tackles, they're still good to go. Jack Campbell's still out there owning the middle of the field, and then so are your safeties, and probably your cornerbacks too. Arnold's seems to be good to go. Whether or not Davis is back, this week or against Buffalo, I don't know. There's no real pertinent information regarding his knee injury. My anticipation is he's back against Green Bay, but it could be easily Buffalo. Robert, we will, or our way to victory over the Cheddars. I'll go with that. We will our way. I'll go with that. All the above, my friend, all the above. JDC, Lambeau Field, home of the Lamers. It is. This one's in Detroit, though. Manberg, good morning. Back at you. Doug, could be the last big break from football till well into January, starting a 1,000-piece puzzle. It is, man. We get past the Packers game. Thankfully, we have a, quote, mini bye or whatever. But, yeah, we got to take care of business. You got to find a way. The other team doesn't care if you're injured because, you know what? It has no value to them. Tori, good morning, all. Time for the next person to step up and hold line until the others get back. All we can do. All you can do, indeed. 100%. Robert, don't forget, everybody, Green Bay is not good. I'll go with that, Robert. Frank, go blue. Man Bear, I was hoping they'd sign someone. They did sign, well, I guess you could say they signed Kewan Alexander. And then, who's the guy from the Rams? Jared, I can't remember his name right now. But they did add 2 players to the team. Just green sanitation. So are we getting with the new guys? Does Alexander have anything left? I don't think he's great, but he's a big body out there that I think can help against the run game first and then maybe get some pressures on the quarterback. He's out there for just rotational purposes, not going to be an every down player. Zadarius Smith is going to start at one end. Who's going to be the other end? If I had to guess right now, maybe Muhammad, or maybe they go with a bigger body over there. I would probably start looking at Broderick Martin if he's healthy enough to go, just because he can hold the line. He's going to make it so he can set an edge a little bit easier than on passing downs, maybe then go for Alaquin Muhammad. Robert Zadarius had a great spin move. He does. Looks very Hutch-like. Art, if there is an award or MVP for a general manager, Brad Holmes should get it now. So how about all the woos you have for him? You're right. Brad Holmes, he's done a phenomenal job. Art, and yes, Brad Holmes, if he's not the best GM in the league, I think we can all agree he's probably top 5. Detroit D, we better stop Jacobs if we want to win. Love will give us a few opportunities to pick off the ball. You're right there, man, and that's what I was saying earlier, and it sounds like we think alike. On those edges, I want to make sure that you stop the run game first to try to force Green Bay to be as one-dimensional as possible. I actually think our secondary is pretty dang good. And if we can force Jordan Love to have to make all the plays over and over throughout the game, I think you're going to have an opportunity to win. Robert, I'll go with that. JDC, Buddy Love and the Cheddars, I agree. France, personally speaking, we beat Green Bay Thursday. I believe we will win the NFC North. You'd be, 4-0 in the NFC North? You're going to put a lot of pressure because Green Bay's lost to Minnesota. Minnesota's lost to us. Green Bay's also lost to Minnesota. Chicago's lost to everybody, I believe. You just figure out that, at some point they're going to beat each other up a little bit too. So you're probably right. I don't know if it would guarantee it, but one more win in the North after the Green Bay game probably does. Doug, we will not be favored by more than 3 to 4 points the rest of the year in any game. Fair enough. Just win, baby. Robert, that would be wonderful. It would be wonderful indeed. 70, good morning, boys. Exclamation point. Who's ready for tomorrow? Question mark. I've got a day off and just watching / cheering for the Ravens and Cards. That's probably what I'll be doing most of the day. I'm not feeling the best. I feel a little dry, so probably got some kind of cold coming on. So that's probably all I'm going to do other than hit the gym and stuff like that. Robert, we are all ready for the game. 100% with that. Clark, morning. Morning to you too. Detroit D, Gibbs has to secure that rock at all times. Correct. That cost us big time. Would have been close at all. Yeah, you're right. We hold on there. I think he would have went down around the 5 or 4 yard line, somewhere like that. You probably do power it in. Even if you don't get a touchdown and you get a field goal there, now you're 19-0. Man, you really start taking the win on the sail. But that fumble probably gave the Bears just enough breathing room to say, maybe we can do something. Trumps, is there any games today? Not that I'm aware of, for the NFL at least. Maybe I'm wrong with that. JDC, and back at you, Robert. It is a game of inches. You're not wrong there, my friend. See, Susan, how many of the injured players returned this season? I'd say there's potential for like 5 or 7 of them. Right around there. Robert, and same to you. Berg time. Hopefully some of these teams can give us a early Christmas gift. Go Cards, go Ravens. Yes, that would be great if they could both win tomorrow, just to give us a little bit more breathing room. Let's see. Doug, how many fumbles did O.J. Simpson have in his career? That I don't know offhand, man. Let's see. Burger time. Let's get Dan to 300 likes, everyone. Yes, if you guys can, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'll thank you very much for that. Papa Noel, good morning to us all. Back at you. Trumps, nobody would have ever held on to the ball. It was a huge hit right on the ball. It's going to happen unless you can see Sierra wrap. Yeah, and he did have it. Tyreek Stevenson, give him some credit. He came in out of nowhere, hit it just right on the arm in the right spot. It happens, man. Robert, I would love for us to go through the entire game with no more new injuries. Maybe other teams can have some injuries and not us. Yeah, that'd be great. Or stick them. There you go, Robert. There you go. Stick them. A throwback to the 70s and 80s. Hookadoo, Wellberg, I was number 3 like today. Lions Talk Live. Hey, keep on liking away. JDC, Puff, Coffee, and Lions Talk Live. A great combination. Doug, the fumble was on a missed block by Glasgow. Look at the replay. His man clocks Gibbs after Gibbs was already hit hard. All right, fair enough. So, do we know when Davis couldn't return? I'm thinking next week against the Pack, but I don't know that. Hookadoo, you're right, Trump's not a chance in the world he could have kept that ball. Yeah, it was a pretty good hit, man. Doug, like our current returner replacement, still will miss Raymond. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, Alexander's not bad at all. Raymond obviously has endeared himself to fans. He'll be back probably late in the regular season. Voltron Force, hit that like and subscribe, people. 100% if you could, please. Mark, Detroit Lions 24, Packers 17. I would take that, man. Trumps, I wish we would sign Watt. You know, I think the hard part for Watt is he's got a pretty cushiony announcing job or, you know, being on TV job. So I don't know what that pays, but you're going to have to find a way. If you really want to get Watt, you're going to have to really entice him in a manner to come back that gets him out of being just on the TV set. Let's see, Pat Rock, we need the win Thursday badly. I'll go with that. You get that win, man. I think there's just almost no way you lose the NFC North. Dave, good morning. Do Crew, back at you. Trumps, it's irritating knowing there's someone on the street that could help this team, and we don't do anything to sign him. We may have talked to him, man. I don't know if we have or haven't. He may have just said, nah, I'm good working in TV. Flathead Frank, Zadarius Smith, revenge game versus Packers. When Hutch comes back, we would have the best defensive end duo as well as the best safeties, defensive tackles, offensive line, running back duos. Woo! You know, there's a lot of truth to that. And let's all just think about this. Whenever it happens, whether it's this year or next year, you think about, you know, Lee McNeil's not going anywhere. Aiden Hutchinson is going to get a new contract. DJ Reader will be here. And Zadarius Smith. That's a fearsome foursome front up there. And then, like you already pointed out, Vlad, Frank, you look at the secondary with the safeties, let alone the cornerbacks, the linebackers. That's a pretty dang legit defense. It may be the best defense the Lions have seen in the vast majority of my lifetime. Offense, you know, obviously they got some real good dudes there. So Lions could be set up for a run this year, next year, and after that, we'll wait and see. Dale, we got great salutations. Dan, the Duke crew. Hopefully the injuries slow down a bit so we can get a few players back. 11-1, baby. Rock on. Woo! I'll go with all the above, and good morning to you too, Dale. JDC, Dre Forge rocks, and he rolls. Dale, Flathead rolls by the twos. I agree. Okay, 100%. Wayne, so if the Lions continue to win with all these practice squad players, the front office and coaching staff is otherworldly. Incredible job so far how Brad literally has his back against the wall. He is, man. He keeps finding stuff. Long Jr., David Long Jr., that's a great pickup. Is it possible? I don't know enough about how Alexander is currently playing to be able to say he's going to be a big addition or not. But the Lions went out and got him real quick, so I'm going to assume he's got something in that tank to try to help out. Doug, biggest thing is getting our left tackle Decker back. Hate seeing Goff with eyes on the back of his head instead of watching downfield. Could be that for sure. You know, Decker, hey, the one thing I'll say for Skipper is I don't think he played poorly at all on Thanksgiving. Well, is he Decker? No, but did he play horribly? Not at all, in my opinion at least. But it would be nice, like you're saying, Doug, to go ahead and get Decker back. Wayne, please, Lord Jesus in heaven, no more injuries. Lions always have to do it right away and go through several trials. Man, the Super Bowl win would be so epic. It would be indeed, man. I'll probably take the day off of work the following day. Flathead, do you think the Packers are easier to hit deep shots against? Woo! J-Mo and Gibbs need to take break a long TD, Montgomery or Amon-Ra St. Brown. Woo! As far as the Packers have a pretty good D. They also have some injuries on their side of the ball. I think the issue with them, can they replicate what the Bears did? I think to some degree, yes, but I also don't think their secondary is as strong as the Bears. Part of what the Bears do, if you go back and watch that game tape, is whatever it was, somewhere in the second quarter, they said, if your guy stays in the block, you're going in, you're blitzing the quarterback. You could see the change from the first quarter to second quarter. I think they figured out if we just sit here and play our normal defense, we've got no chance to stopping the Detroit Lions. It is what it is. So what they did is they just told everybody in that front seven, he stays in the block, you rush the quarterback or shoot the gap. You do something like that, and it's a trivial little thing, but it also meant they put all their secondary on the island. And if, Amon-Ra St. Brown, not 100% going to the game, you can see his separation wasn't as good as normal. Jamison Williams did some good things, but he also limited Goff's time. You also saw where they attacked Sam Laporte a little bit, and I'm guessing that's why his pro football grade was a little bit lower. When he had a block, he struggled, and he still may be feeling the effect of that shoulder separation. JDC, just remember, no other NFL team has the Tree of Destiny. You are not wrong there. We've got something everybody else wants. Doug, right now, would anyone be happy with 14-3 finish? I would be, especially if it gets us to the number 1 seed. I'll take it. But, hey, we'll see what happens, obviously. Wayne, good morning, Dano. Best Lions podcaster out there. Thanks for that, Wayne. And you know what? Hey, there's a lot of good ones out there for sure. Let's see. Drew, good morning, Dan and the Duke Crew. Back at you, Drew. King SJ, greetings, salutations, exclamation point, go Lions, exclamation point. Good to see you as always, my friend. Phil, good morning, back at you. Paperback fan, greetings, salutations, Duke Crew, still believe in this team. We will beat the Fudge Packers, team of destiny, exclamation points. You might be right, my friend. Good morning to you. Coach Rock, good morning. All sure would use some good news. Hey, you got the good news, hopefully. Hopefully enjoy it. Patrick, good morning, Duke Crew and Coach Dan. Hope all is doing well, and it's time to put the pedal to the floor and bury the Packers. I'll go with that. James, good morning, Duke Crew. Same to you. Motown Mitch, Lions rule, Bears rule, 11-1, baby, 12-1 loading. Let's hope so. Carrie, hello, good morning, everyone. Back at you, Carrie. Hopefully it's a phenomenal morning. Alan, Dan, are you going to you're going to wind up having your own show on Fox? You're better than there, guys. We'll see if they ever reach out, man. I work for Mountain Dew. And thanks for that, Alan. Let's see, Dale. Doug, 14-3. I'll take it, but 16-1 is a whole lot better. Number 1 seed. Oh, yeah, I'll take all of that, man. If we can be 16-1, that would be great. Brett, greetings, salutations. I see Lombardi. I'm down with that. Kurt, I posted the video on my channel. Thanks for that, my friend. And on Twitter. Okay. Thank you. Rocky, seems to me, since they took the hitting out of football, there are no more injuries than ever. What's going on with that? There are more injuries than ever? Yeah, you're probably right with that. Kurt, I am on my Facebook, laughing out loud. Fair enough. Troy, Coach, just post a link to the video so you don't have to worry about it. Maybe that's what I'll do, but I'll go and do a video and we'll walk through it. And because I know a couple people said, do you really think he spit on him? And, Kurt, you've seen the video clearly. You can know your thoughts, but it looks to me like there's a point where Stevenson, once he trips him, turns at him and kind of does this and, does this, like I said, the snot rocket. So I don't know. Salute, Kurt, says Brent. Derek, good morning, Coach and crew. If KC makes it to the Super Bowl, we're going to destroy them. Raiders should have won last night. The Raiders, give them credit. You give Antonio Pierce a lot of credit. He got him into a hostile environment. Clearly, they're outgunned. And you know what? They should have won. Their kicker missed a gajillion kicks. The botched, snap fumble at the end. Man, I don't even know what they were thinking there, but it is what it is. Patrick, thanks for doing the extra video, Coach. I also have been having a dickens of a time trying to find it. I sure did miss it during the game, for sure. Yeah, 100%. Most people probably did. The part I have a problem with this, it is in clear view of a few officials. How they didn't see it, that's the most egregious thing. So I'm wondering, I know, like you said earlier, a bunch of you guys brought it up that the NFL has now edited out the pass interference against the Detroit Lions on 4th and whatever it was, 14, 15, something like that, 29,000, whatever it was. That thing was such BS, in my opinion, because the pass lands like 15 yards away from the guy, and he makes zero effort. I could see, all right, if the Bears receiver is trying to fight to get through Vildor to get back to the ball. He's not. He's just standing straight up. There's no effort from him to get back to that pass. And what context there? Vildor is just sitting there. He's got his hands on him, but the guy's not trying to even move. I mean, it's like me putting my hand on my mom, or something like that. Just say, how you doing? And I think they knew they messed up there, so they got it out of the video. Kurt, Troy Davis, there isn't a link out there that's easy to get. Yes, yeah, and I think the NFL wants it that way. Big D, how many more games are the refs going to give for the Chiefs for free? That's a good question. Patrick, laughing out loud, Coach Dan, if I can find the button. Yes, the button. There are so many buttons on this screen right now, guy. Patrick, that let me tell you, sometimes they get a little mixed up. JDC, ban bad buttons. I'm down with that. Big D, Morning Dew Crew, back at you. Rye, win, just win. 100%, just win, baby. Sarge, good morning, Dan and Duke Cruz. Same to you. Phil, we're going to need a program to see who these guys are. We are just running out of players and numbers. Man, we are throwing so many guys out there. Most of us don't even know who they are. Here's Johnny. Goff seems rattled when Deckard's out. Why not move Sewell to left tackle next time? That's I know the coaching staff said they'd consider that. Trump, with all these injuries, we're going to need a lot of Super Bowl rings. Yes, we will. Big D, Johnny, spot on. Big D, he's scared. All right. Bogey time. Love gonna go for 5 TDs. We'll see. Phil, AG is doing a better job than Ben Johnson. Ben seems to have lost some this year. What's up with that? I think teams are figuring out his tendencies. How about that? Here's Johnny. He's not just not on the same with Decker out. Yeah, he's not the same. I'll agree with that. And there's the video link. Big D, Love gonna go on IR. Maybe. J-Mo video. All right. Big time. Bogey time. Laughing out loud. Phil, didn't Dan say he was working in that for us? Yeah, I'm say he was working on that for that. I guess I don't know. Ezra Gay, good morning, Dan and the Duke Crew. Lions will wrap up the North week 16 and Division week 17. Rest players week 18. I wonder if that's what they'll do, Gray. Me as a coach, myself, I would probably play our starters week 18, assuming we have the number 1 seed, NFC North all locked up. I'd probably play them a half. I just don't want them to go 2.5 weeks without playing and without the bodies getting the physical contact. That's just my opinion. Maybe MCDC says we'll just sit them all. Heck, maybe he just says we'll play them all the entire game. But I don't know, man. We'll see. Doug, if we don't spend some money on Zettler in 2025, we could actually need 2 guards because Glasgow has not been top-level guard. No, I think Glasgow, this is probably his final year here unless he's a backup. He's functional as long as the rest of the line is there. Mahogany, I think Christian might be the idea that maybe that's where they go in the offseason. Fire Melon, maybe. Let's see, Kurt, Phil, I downloaded and posted it before Dan said something. Fair enough. Phil, Glasgow is the top-level offensive lineman. He plays every interior position. Yeah, I think he is not what he once was. I think he is losing some. That's just my opinion. You guys can have your own. Let's see, Kurt, Hutch is walking without crutches. Correct with that. Phil, opinions vary. Let's see, Southwest, he is not playing this year. Too risky. Fair enough. Let's see, the Ronin 99. Great salutations, Coach. I'm awake. Regrettably, exclamation points, laughing out loud. Well, hey, glad to have you a part of the morning show as always, friend. Good to see you as always. Hey, but one other question. You're probably already knees deep in the basketball season, so hopefully you're enjoying it and getting some rest. I know I'm all set for Tuesday for us. Let's see, Kurt Steele, the Ronin 99. What up, though? Long time, no time. See, yeah, it's been a minute. Doug Jalen Reeves-Maybin is a good boost, knows AG's defense well. He is, man. It'll be nice to have him back. The Twin Peaks, good morning, Duke Crew. Back at you. Kurt Steele. Rakestraw has a slash move. Okay, in your opinion, a stash move. All right, I'm down with that. Avery T, what about Davenport? Dan, question mark. Do you think he can return? His injury isn't as bad as Hutch, right? That's the tough part, Avery, just because there's 2 different reports out there. One, he basically blew up his muscles surrounding his elbow. If that's the case, yeah, he's not coming back. Now, if it's just he dislocated that elbow, that's where I think he could be back. Same with Derek Barnes. He's pretty far into his recovery. I think there is a good chance he returns before the end of the regular season. Doug, Kurt, exactly. He is future security. Who would have thought he'd be this depleted? 100%. We'd be this depleted. Excuse me. David Montgomery, come on, Coach Dan. You're just reading the article from Lions Wire that's up on the web. All right, fair enough. I guess I didn't know that. All right, fair enough. I'd say Trump's. How the heck does a finger injury hold you out when you're playing safety? That's weak. I don't know the extent of the finger injury, but the fact that he's still out, that's surprising. I would go with that, especially when you have like Carlton Davis III, playing with a broken thumb, not a dislocated finger, a broken thumb. Derek, I'd love to see what Mosley can do, but if he isn't ready to go, he's taking up valuable roster space. We'll see what happens this week. I think if he's not out there this week, man, it's probably getting close to time to move it on from him. We'll see, though, what the coaches do. Joseph, Bone Spurs can help you dodge the draft. That's weak. Fair enough. Trump, no politics. Yep, it's your for long years. No politics here. See, JDC Dan Montgomery, that's because Lion Talks Live doesn't have a red direct to MCDC. Okay, all right, fair enough. I'll go with that. Skywalker 30. What do you got? This is great. We are getting back players when they were other teams are losing players. Let's hope so. Let's hope we get a lot back when other people are losing them. Ryan, NFL needs to consider teams to have more players for additional bye weeks. Okay, that might not be a bad idea. I think additional bye weeks is definitely where I'd be going with that, Ryan. Douglas, from what reason are other injuries happening to the Detroit Lions? Do they play too hard? They may play hard, but you know what? Sometimes I think it's just luck, who gets hurt and at what time. See, Michael, they can still sign Jason Pierre-Paul. That's a thought. Or TJ Watt, says Trump. Michael, does anyone else hear that the Lions are signing DE from the Rams practice squad? His name is Jonah Williams. Yes, I did hear that they signed him. And like you're pointing out, they're 6'5", 275 pounds. He fits what the Lions typically want from their defensive ends. A little bit bigger guy who can help set the edge, help collapse the interior, force runs outside instead of inside. So I think you're spot on with that. Run stopper, says Trumps. I agree. JK, good morning. Lions Talk Live, Honey Crew. I'll go with all the above. How about that? Doug, the center was filling in for the regular center due to in-game injury. Can't count on him till was between quarterback and OC and coach. I'm down with that. Eddie's Fish, good morning. This Detroit Eddie in Hampton, Virginia. Love your show. Go Lions. We love having you here, my friend. Glad you enjoyed the show. Trumps, the no call on delay of game was nonsense. They had a few of those, and I was surprised that the Bears didn't get at least one of them. I think the rule is, if I'm not mistaken, somebody else can, correct me if I'm wrong. If the zeros hit and the official sees the ball in motion, so getting snapped, they don't call it. But there's quite a few seconds or times there in the Thanksgiving Day game where that ball's still, and I go 1,001, 1,000, maybe not 1,002, but that ball then gets going. So I guess it's just up to each individual crew. All right, Miles Marker, what do you got? Thank you, Kurt Steele. Just watching it. Ugly 100%. See, James, good morning, Duke Crew. Exclamation point. What a game against the Bears. Exclamation point. Defense is spreading pretty thin for the Lions. I'm down with that. Doug, NFL games are a production business, betting and TV revenue. Get used to it. Good thing is we are the darlings finally. We are indeed the darlings. Derek, we're getting the bottom of the barrel for waiver choices because we're last in line. You're not wrong there, man. You are the top team. You don't get first dibs. JDC, Doug, let's see. Yep, I doth agree. I'm glad you agree. Flathead Frank, Lions need to accept Jordan Love's gifts. Let's go, Kirby. Lions are in a slump creating turnovers. Let's get the juice machine. Woo! I'm down with that. You get on the jugs machine. Yeah, they got to be in position to catch them. But, yeah, I get what you're saying, man. You got to hold on when they do come. Along Jr., I like him. Q, is that the question? Yeah, I like him. I think he's going to help out. Let's see. Gerald, what do you got? When you have one of the biggest financial supporters is betting organizations, you are going to have some very questionable calls. Yeah, I'd say it's not a good look for the NFL, in my opinion, to be partnered up with these betting agencies, but it is what it is. Michael, we saw it happen. That's the difference in the game. I'm down with that. JDC, Lions Talk Live, the Factor Factory. All right. Let's see. Flex, Droid, what do you got? I see a lot of elder players loving to play for this team because it shows as players play as a team. It's the best feeling having a cohesiveness and heart from everybody. Team wide stepping up and when called. Yes, they are stepping up when called. Jordan Williams, DE, gives us some veteran presence and a part of the rotation. 100% with that, Q. 100%. Justin, Michigan versus Ohio State today. No NFL until tomorrow. Well, I'll have to watch that game. Hopefully it's a good game. That's all I can say. Lauren, only get 8 IR activations. Yeah, correct. Michael, now we're getting coaches fired along with the losses of their next games. I'm down with that. William Daniel, I think injuries are happening because guys are tired, having to play more snaps. That could be some truth to that, 100%. See, Chef, some people should just watch football and keep their opinions to themselves. Okay. Avery T, we could really use Matthew Betts right now. Any possibility he could return to Lions? Sure. If they want to sign him, they could go get him. As far as I'm aware, he's not under contract with anyone. Patrick Barry Sanders had a total of 41 fumbles in his career, so Gibbs has nothing to worry about. Okay. JDC, Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost, Coach Dan, Johnny Gaz, and Mark Orm. Coincidence? I think not. Fair enough. See, TCKG, who is not going to play Thursday, who will get injured last Thursday. We'll find out. We will find out, my friend. See, Tay Wade Prophets, Hutch walking without crutches. Yes, he is walking without crutches, so it's good news if you ask me. Q, Gibbs, one fumble all year. Gibbs is he is a very good player and a key piece of our offense and team. I agree with that. Trumps, Flad Frank, you ever fish Maple River? Question mark. Me and my dad did a lot of catfishing. Okay. Felix Droid, got to stay stuff and play like as a team, but they got to keep energy and not be lax and play smart and not reckless. Keep level heads, and we will, with the intensity all started with. Yes, indeed, keep the intensity level high. Derek, we have enough injury players to fill Noah's Ark. Hey, I see what you did there. Jerry, how is anyone worried about Gibbs? Question mark. That's crazy. Yeah, I don't think anybody is. At least I would think nobody is. Coach Rock still thinking there's some type of injury with Goff. His throwing motion is a little off in the last few games. Could be. JC, I'm not buying into the movie hype. Go Thunder and Lightning. I'm down with that. Let's see, John. Good news just hit. We're getting a bunch of guys. I would say based on the reports, I think we're going to get a bunch of the injured players back before the playoffs. Probably the last game or two of the regular season. Jason, can the gobbling Lions keep on gobbling? I say yes. Superdome. Oh, bust. Good to see you, my friend, this morning. Derek, Mountain Dew should be sponsoring this show. I'm surprised they haven't reached out. Their representation is clearly sleeping at the wheel. JDC Motor City Duke Crew, you got to love them. See, Doug, the officials see so much going on from both teams during the game. Hard to pick out anything specific from either team. They'd be stopping the game dozens of times on extracurricular activities. Yeah, I agree with that, but on the sidelines, that's where it's a no-fly zone. You cannot allow, in my opinion, any player to do what Tyreek Stevenson did on the sidelines. And again, since Jameson Williams has the ball, I'm assuming there are officials watching the ball to see if it comes out, completes the process, catch, all that stuff. And the fact that none of them caught that, that's a disqualification there. To be very by the rules, you trip somebody, you mess with a player, and you're a player not in the field of play, that's an automatic disqualification. If I'm not mistaken, a 15-yard penalty too. Rocky M, good morning. Kurt Steele, thanks for that video. Couldn't find it anywhere, and see you Monday. See you Monday, my friends. Let's see, JDC Motor City Duke Crew, home of the 2 million served. I'm down with that. Coach Rock, watching and this relaxing with my woo-woo coffee, knowing I have to go out and clean a ton of snow out of the driveway. Woo! My winter exercise regime. Hey, I'm be out there doing it too. Let's see, Rocky M, no problem, says Kurt Steele. Derek, NFL should go to a 60-man roster. We'll see what they do. Kurt, a good friend of mine who is a Rams podcaster, said that they are getting a good player in Williams. I like Williams. I think he's going to fill in, again, for what they want him to do, what they are going to ask him to do. See, Miles Barker, Rocky M. Yep, me too. Sigh over the foot yesterday and still coming down. It is still coming down. I think we're under, where I'm at, a winter storm advisory. Look-a-doo. Damn, Miles Barker, I didn't see you pop in. Good morning. Let's see, Eddie Fish. Do not look back. Lions are going all the way to the Super Bowl. Who is going to beat those Lions? Let's hope nobody does. See, Phil, they're in shape for these UFs. Yes, they are in shape. They've been practicing with the guys. Then they're Lions shape. It might take a week or two to get them. We'll see. We'll see how fast I can get them up to speed. Don Bird, Michigan versus Ohio State today. Go blue. Let's go. Let's see. TJ, what do you got? With some teams, they should fire the GM instead of the head coach. But then that would improve their team. So never mind. Fair enough. I haven't tried the Maple River yet. My buddy tried it. Okay. JDC, happy trails. Go Lions victory. Scott, I was surprised to see the discrepancy of touches between Monty and Gibbs. 21 for Monty, 9 for Gibbs. And they're both in the high 80s in yards. Any idea why such a wide gap? That I don't know. Scott. I'd have to look into it. See, TJ getting at least 15 or 14 to 15 of these injured players healthy before the playoffs would secure some Super Bowl. A healthy team is unbeatable. I like the way you're thinking. Phil, what happened to those additions when the starters come back? Goodbye. Yes, you're going to have to cut somebody. You can't keep everybody. Let's see. Q, 20 million, by the way. I'm down with that. Miles Marger, hookadoo, good morning, brah. All right. TJ, I do the cha-cha. Laughing out loud. Well, enjoy that. Let's see, Derek, make JJ an offer he can't refuse. Hey, I like the very Italian way about it. Could it be the Lions go after him? I know other people suggested Aaron Donald. Who knows, man? We'll have to wait and see. Let's see, Miles Market, 11-1. Yes, we are. Brian, we got Raiders coach fired last year or a year before. Yeah, I think it was last year, if I'm not mistaken. Brian, good morning. Dan and crew, back at you. All right, guys, I'm going to go round this one up. I'm going to go drink some water for my throat because, like I said, I'm not feeling the greatest. But if there is some sort of breaking news later today, I'll get it over to you as quick as possible. Otherwise, hey, be a good person, do nice things for other people, say something kind to somebody you don't know, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Take care, enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you guys all in the next Lions Talk Live. Take care, everybody.
Happy trails to you until we meet again.